My name's Fawn. I'm president of the Quinault Indian Nation. When they first came to our home, I started to see right away, this is a really good constellation of kids. My children are third generation foster care, Native American Indian children. Their grandmother grew up as a child in Alaska. She was taken out, placed into a foster home in Oregon. Her daughter ended up in foster care. And then by the time she was 21, she had 4 children, 3 of mine. And that could all be traced back to a federal policy designed to break up Indian children. The Indian Child Welfare Act is designed to keep Indian children whole. When states fail to comply with ICWA, it creates so many problems, not only for the families, but ultimately the children. Our son really started wanting a sibling. He said, "Mom, I want you to have a baby now," as though I could just deliver a sibling for him. My husband and I really started to have a serious conversation about adoption. The social worker called us and had identified 3 Native children. We were told we were the only Native family in the mix. So under ICWA, we should be the family selected. I put a lot of time, energy, effort into a remodel of the house, adding 2 rooms. I bought an SUV. I had a text message from the social worker, "Please call me." She said, "Fawn, I'm so sorry, but the selection committee picked another family." I thought to myself, I'm just going to simply ask for an administrative review just to ensure the Indian Child Welfare Act was complied with. I did a little bit of research, and I came across a GAO report that highlighted the failure of states to implement ICWA the way it was designed and intended. Sure enough, about a month later, we got another letter that said we did find they failed to follow the Indian Child Welfare Act. However, there's another family that we're going to be placing these children with. We let a good 2 months go by just to sort of, mourn that loss. In February of that following year, I received a call from a social worker. She said, "Do you remember the 3 children that you had gone through our process with last year? We placed them in a home and it didn't work out." I just thought, how can this happen? How can this happen? They found that one of the members in the family had a criminal history. If they would have found during the review process that, there was a disqualifying factor, they wouldn't have been even sent to that home. So it was about a 2.5-year process of 2 different appeals and the back and forths and being placed in a home only for 4 months. When they first came to our home, the kids told me that they had gone through some pretty terrible things in that home, and we suspect they had gone through some unspeakable things. It crushes my heart to think that had Oregon followed the Indian Child Welfare Act, the children would not have been placed in a home where those things happened to them. It's going to be with them for the rest of their life. Any child that goes through foster care and they have that disconnection from a nuclear family, it's compounded when that removal is not only from your nuclear family, but your nation, your citizenry. It is in that child's best interest to maintain their identity and who they are as a person. You could just look to the historical trauma that tribes face today. We were taken away from our communities. We were put in boarding schools. Our languages were lost. Our cultures were lost, and our traditions. And you find that young people today, they have that cultural connection. They're becoming stronger. In each generation, we're building and improving and healing from past trauma.